Who's all of a sudden needing relationship advice? I only say that because I don't know where these ideas are coming from. Let me stop lying. I've healed from a lot of toxic relationships because I was toxic myself. That's why I know so much about relationships. Shit. You know, living life. I would say the most hardest thing I've ever had to endure and overcome is healing from a toxic partner or relationship. This has been the most toughest thing to ever heal from, but it has been the most valuablest thing to learn from. And I know maybe there's a lot of you out there that you don't understand why is it that you're still attracting the same energy, but in a different body. And you may be thinking, why is it that I always attract toxicity? Why is it that I can't have anything healthy in a relationship or in a connection the way that you desire? Well, today you're going to figure out why. And it's going to be a lot more deeper than you think. So buckle up because this requires a lot of self-awareness in order to be honest with self on what you're allowing in your life. And I guarantee you, watch this video to the very end because all these golden nuggets I'm going to share with you is going to teach you how you don't need anyone, but it's okay to want someone, but realizing at the same time that you are the one. Beautiful beings, welcome back, Awaken Ones, on another episode on Embracing Ascension series with your homegirl, Brittany Fontanez. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I send you guys nothing but love and only love, and I'm hoping you're having a blissful day so far. But if you're new to this channel, welcome. On this channel, I speak about spiritual development, emotional awareness, and I do guided readings for your zodiac sign, and I talk about things I feel need to be talked about because it's our divine right to know more than what we have been told. And if you want to know anything about my business inquiries, you can go down the information below and check out my website. And also, just understand, you guys, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button really does help this channel keep going and help this video get out to other individuals who may need to hear it the way that you want and need in order to gain some clarity. So if you enjoy my energy today, boo boo, and if you feel this really did benefit you, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And after you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification button so you won't miss out on any videos. But other than that, enough of that spiel. Let's get into this. So I want to talk about how to heal from a toxic relationship. This is probably the most hardest thing we all have to endure in this lifetime, or just being on planet Earth and being human, because the way that we look at relationships nowadays is not in a healthy manner. It's to a point that we use one another and we really don't know how to develop a connection, a love. It's all about the chemistry, but not the compatibility. And if you don't know what I mean, go check out my video. I'll leave it at the end of this video. Knowing the difference between chemistry and compatibility, that there's a huge importance of knowing this, because a lot of us are so desperate and a lot of us are so avoidant. Here's the crazy thing. People who want a relationship are very desperate, but people who are avoidant of relationships desire it but fear it. So there's nothing but trauma bonds taking place in relationships, and this is why they don't last, because they only think about the flare or the fling, but they never think about the long term. There's so much trauma and fear regarding relationships, and it's so important that you understand how to heal from a toxic relationship, because when you do, you will understand that it never was love. You just were taught pain. And it's so important that you know this. And it's very vital that we all understand that when a person is hurting, they hurt other people. It does not mean that that is love. It just means that's who they are. So if you were in a toxic relationship with a narcissist or with an avoidant person or someone who just made you feel like it was one-sided, please understand that was not love. That was pain. And that was your trauma cycling to show you what it is you need to overcome. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. How to heal from toxic relationships. If you're in a current one, or if you just got out of one, or you're trying to get yourself out of one, I'm here to assist. So I do want to share a story before we get into this. Why is it that I'm sharing all these with you? Is because I've come from a family on my mom's side We're all the woman. We give ourselves so quickly, so much, and we get taken advantage of, manipulated, and we have a tendency to be very codependent and fear abandonment. And I realized these triggers within myself, and I recognized how this was just patterns I've learned from growing up, and I still realized that I was recycling those traumas within my current relationships. And a lot of us are not aware that we learned our love language from our childhood and from our parents and from our surroundings when we were younger. And therefore, I'm here to be honest with you, our parents, majority of us, really don't know what love is. So therefore, we think abuse, manipulation, emotional tactics, ghosting, ignoring is love. I'm here to share with you that it's not love. That's pain. But in order to recognize this, and in order to heal from this is the way to do it, booze. And the first way is, what are you attracted to? What made you attracted to that person and why? This is the biggest thing we have to bring to our awareness if we're going to heal from a toxic relationship. And it's because you have to recognize that we are energy and we attract what it is we vibrate at. So I'm here to share something real with you. If you attract a toxic partner, there is some toxicity within you that's vibrating at the same level they are. This is why you guys attracted each other. We have to be honest about this, you guys. We always blame the other person as if they're demonized or they're the bad one or they're the villain. But you got to recognize it takes two to tango. So you have just amount of toxicity and flaws as them. So we got to recognize what made us attracted to this person and why. And little do you know, when you start to realize what makes you fear love, what makes you so needy of it, then you get down to the nitty gritty beliefs and limiting perspectives of realizing, wow, the way I've been looking at relationships is not really who I am. Majority of us have identities and personalities that are based off of self-defense mechanisms from childhood that help us feel safe. But now, since they don't work for us, they're actually hurting us and hurting our connections. And this is what I mean by recycling trauma. When we don't address how we feel towards particular situations in our life, hence triggers, we will never be able to overcome them in order to get a different solution. So this is why it's very important to understand what makes you attracted to toxicity and realizing what choices do you need to make different in order to allow healthy relationships. Now, that's the first way to heal from a toxic relationship. What makes you attracted to particular people that have, because realize this, if you keep attracting the same energy within a different body, then there's something you are attracted to that you have to become aware of. Like for me, I was attracted to people who are very avoidant, people who are very fucking lazy in love. And I realize it's because I give too much unconditional love that it makes it seem like if you're gonna give it so easily, I don't have to give you anything. And I had to be aware of taking my power back, having boundaries, and being okay with being a reflection of that person, or letting them know vulnerably that I'm not gonna tolerate this shit. Or if that, I'm just gonna be a reflection of them and be like, you know what, you're gonna treat me like that? This is how I'm gonna treat you, the way you treat me. Not in a way where you are lowering yourself for them, but it's just like, you don't matter. So if I don't matter, you don't matter. And it's okay to think that way and do that because you are choosing you. That's not toxic. That is choosing self over other. We're not here to abandon self or neglect self. We're here to choose self and love self the way that it deserves. Now, that's the first way. What are you attracted to and why? Now, the second thing you have to understand in order to heal from a toxic relationship is honor your flaws. When we get out of a toxic relationship, we think there's something wrong with us. We think we're unlovable. We think that this person's almighty, that they deserve to be on a pedestal, and we think that they're right and the way that they treated us, we deserved. I'm here to share something with you. That keeps you in a state of victimization and always perpetuating that people are gonna leave me, people are not gonna love me, I'm never gonna get what I deserve. That is you feeding your ego. And I'm here to share something with you. The reason why you gotta honor your flaws is because when we think this way and we think that other person was so perfect and we're so flawed, what we're doing is we're feeding the ego. And what I mean by this is that we're feeding the ego in a way where we think that we can't be imperfect. Relationships are all about unconditional love, all about acceptance of one another. But if you get out of a toxic relationship, you're gonna feel really down about yourself. Your confidence is going to lower, your self-esteem is going to arise, insecurities are really, really going to expose themselves. But you have to understand that when you get out of a toxic relationship, it does not mean that there's something wrong with you. You have to realize the ego makes you think you have to be something perfect in order to get what you want, but you don't have to be. You are you, and we're perfectly flawed. And if someone doesn't honor that about you, if someone doesn't honor the vulnerability of who you are, if someone doesn't honor, like, for instance, I was talking to this person. I kind of just like dropped it because it's like I wouldn't say I got bored. I just saw the fakeness and I couldn't stand it. So it was like I told this person vulnerably, you know, I used to be in relationships where I was codependent. I used to chase. And you know, I was really like vulnerable. This is the first time I'm really expressing myself because I'm learning who I am. This person completely ignored it and flipped it. They were interested and all of a sudden they stopped being interested. And they made me relive that chasing and neediness. And I'm like, I told you that out of confidence and now you're really fucking with me? That's some manipulation tactics right there. And I realized that. And I changed their circumstances. And I realized, you know what? If this person doesn't want to respect that I was vulnerable enough to express my flaws, then it does not mean there's something wrong with me. It just means they don't deserve me. So therefore, I accept me, and therefore someone else would absolutely accept me. You have to honor every part of yourself in order to have a relationship that's gonna honor you. And here's the most important thing. You gotta honor yourself, but also honor the other person in order to get what you feel that you deserve. This is not a one-sided game, you guys. It takes two. It takes you recognizing your shit and what you bring to the table as well, not just the other person. This is why it kind of irritates me why relationships are one-sided nowadays and people want to victimize themselves and villainize the other person. It's just like, bro, just take ownership, take accountability for your side, yeah. Because it really takes two people to make something work or to make something not work. I'm just going to leave it at that. But now this is the most important fucking one in order to heal from a toxic relationship. Because majority of toxic relationships always start out with this fucking shit and it annoys me. It only annoys me because I was guilty of this. But I could share. I can explain it now. Third way to heal from a toxic relationship. We have to understand that sex is not love. I'm gonna leave it at that. Sex is not love. I realized how, you know, not only my family, but I know in society, you know, men are taught to be praised for being hoes and women for being the same thing as men are shamed for it. And I realized in my own family it was like that too. That where, you know, we give ourselves so quickly when it comes to sex, and all of a sudden we create an entanglement, an energetic entanglement to the point that we're seeing through rose-colored glasses. This is why they say wait until marriage or wait until at least 3 to 4 months to give sex to a person, because you're going to teach them what you deserve and how to be treated. Me, I realized majority of my relationships, I started out with sex very quickly. And of course, down the line, the sex was the only thing that was keeping us together. But as it got boring, we realized there was no compatibility. That's why it's so important to know that chemistry is just romance. Compatibility makes a unionship, always. But we have to understand, we live in such a fucking, what's that word? High sex drive society. Where, you know, sex is everything. Sex is important. Sex. Sex is not love, you guys. Sex is just an act. It can be a worthless act, like majority of us do, to create that entanglement of trauma bonding. Or sex can be something sacred and meaningful depending on the purpose you give it. That's why I want to share that sex is not love. This is why a lot of people in the spiritual community are celibate. You know, they don't really have sex that much because it's as if you're giving your life force away. You're giving your goodness away. You're giving all your healing, all your love, all the best parts of you to a person that doesn't even see the best parts of themselves or the best part of the world because they're so fucking selfish, they're so in their goddamn ego that they're giving all that energy to you and therefore you feel drained. But you keep feeding that toxicity because you think that is the only way to receive attention, validation, or love. Sex is not love, you guys. Sex is an act. This is why it's so important to restrain yourself, because you can't build a healthy relationship if you just jump head first to it. It's so important that you teach a person to respect you, but you first got to understand how to respect yourself. And the way to do that, that was funny. I got too excited. That's what she said. So, next one. The fourth way to heal from a toxic relationship is, what foundation are you building on? This, I would say, should be the very first thing you do before you get into a relationship, before you even consider dating. What foundation are you building on? Because majority of us have been building on foundations of neediness, of desperation, of feeling lonely and chasing and seeking. And therefore we wonder why things don't last. Because what you want so fast can never last. Ooh, that's fire right there. So, what foundation are you building on? Because like I said, majority of us have a distorted perspective of love. And majority of us suppress our emotions so much and jump from relation to relation to relationship that we don't allow ourselves a moment to heal and breathe so we can learn these lessons and not recreate them. So, what foundation are you building on? If you are building on a foundation, like I said, desperation, neediness, and chasing, then you're building on a foundation that you're not good enough. So it's important to understand, what foundation are you building on? What kind of partnership do you want? Not the person you want. What kind of partnership do you want? What kind of lifestyle do you want with this person? What kind of love? What is love? What is love for you? For me, love is communication. Love is vulnerability. Love is authenticity. Love is expressing emotions. Love is emotional support. What is love to you? If you don't have a clear definition of what foundation you're building upon for love, then what you're doing is only attracting what you're desperate for. And I'm gonna tell you guys, that's only going to keep perpetuating your worthlessness. We're not here to make the self feel worthless. We're here to express the divinity, the sacredness that someone will be blessed with for this world. But we first got to see that within us. And in order to do that, we got to heal from the toxicity that we keep running away from. And that is the way to do it. What foundation are you building on? And when you get real clear, real confident, to the point you believe you deserve the love that you're so desiring, then never lower your standards. Never. Make sure people reach those standards. All right, fifth one. The last two are going to be tough ones, because the fifth one requires forgiveness. The way to heal from a toxic relationship is realizing that this person is not your villain. This person shouldn't make you not believe in love. This person was your guide. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but you have to understand. No one on this planet is a bad person. Not even a rapist, not even a molester. I don't care what anyone says. You could shun me on that shit. I say this because everything on this planet is meant to teach us. If it was not supposed to be here, it would not. But it is. And the reason why all these things we deem bad, evil, all of these things, they're really here to teach us, you guys. You know, I villainized a person I really loved. It took me like almost two years and a half to get over someone. And it was because it was so detrimental to my health that I really had to switch me on to heal myself, to really honor who I am. And in that moment when I started to heal and allow time to teach me how to have compassion for myself, I learned that this person didn't hurt me because of me. And I didn't hurt them because of them. I was really just in their life to be a guide, to teach them how to respect people. And they were in my life to teach me how to love myself. You have to understand, in order to heal from a toxic relationship, you cannot keep wallowing on thinking you need this person or this is the one, or thinking that this person is the only person meant for me. No, they're not. If a person leaves your life, if a person does you dirty, if a person hurts you, you don't go running back to them because you think that that's the best you can get. What you need to learn to heal from a toxic relationship is realizing that they're not a bad person, they're not a villain, they are a guide. Whatever tumultuous lesson, pain that you had to endure with that person, that very pain is the very lesson that person had to come into your life to teach you. Like for me, this particular person came into my life to teach me how to not be codependent, to teach me independence, to teach me self-reliance, to teach me my worth, to teach me how to see the best parts of who I am. And in that, I've realized I have so much compassion for this person. I have so much love for this person. I forgive this person. Not to the point I want them back. Hell fucking no, I don't. But I thank them because I wouldn't be where I am today. And I'm not giving them, don't give that person all the credit, but acknowledge how much they have assisted you in some way. So forgiveness is so important, you guys, because you can't have a healthy relationship. You can't have the next best relationship until you forgive. Because if you still have resentment in your heart, it's only going to ripple out into the ethers and attract that back to you. So please, please understand that this person was a guide, not a villain. And they are not the one. You are the one. And this is where we get to the last one of how to heal from a toxic relationship. Realizing, go ahead, just go on the floor. Realizing that you are the one. This may sound very self-centered or self-absorbent or narcissistic. I know manipulators are very prone to be self-obsessed. But this is very different. I want to bring a new perspective to you. Knowing you're the one means to me, and if it resonates, well, it's wonderful. Knowing you're the one means that you know the beauty behind your existence. I know a lot of people that walk around be like, I'm worthy, I know my worth, I'm the one, everyone wants me, and it's like, that's ego. What I'm sharing with you, knowing that you're the one, meaning that, we're gonna dive deep on this one, guys. We come onto this planet with nothing and we leave with nothing. We came onto this planet already being the source of love and light, as we are. And we're going to die with ourselves in the same format, in the same way as we came in, even if we've forgotten. So knowing this means that you didn't come with a spouse. You didn't come with the job. Oh, no. You didn't come with the label. Oh, no. You came just with you. So what does that mean? That you don't need someone. You don't need that person. You don't need a relationship. The only relationship you need is the one with you. And I know, I'm tired of hearing this, Brittany. This is not helping me. Well, this is going to help you. You will never be able to believe that the one you are meant to be with is out there until you start to believe that you are the one. I started to realize in my life, all the blessings I gave to people, all the realness of me that I gave to people. And even if that was fake, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was a bitch. I was mean. My words are very, very harsh. I wasn't a good partner. But as I started to heal and started to understand my guilt and started to understand my shame, I started to realize I'm not a bad person. But I started to realize my great qualities. And I started to realize, wow, I'm such a blessing to a lot of people. Because I have such a heart my heart is not made of gold. My heart is divine. And it's so rare, the type of love that I have. When I recognized the beautiful aspects of me, when I started to recognize the flaws within me and how they make every aspect of myself. And I started to accept myself, and I started to accept my life, and I started to take my energy back and focus within my body. Because when we're so focused on the other person, we're giving our life force away and our energy away to the point we don't have enough energy to focus on our own self and our own life. And that's how we abandon ourselves. But when I realized that, and I started to put the energy back into my body, and I started to realize the tiny little blessings within the chaos of my life, I started to recognize that there's a lot of things that are within me that a lot of people don't hold. And this is why it's so important to understand that you're the one. Because there's a lot of abilities, a lot of love, a lot of different attributes about you that are so rare. And they deserve to be honored. They deserve to be seen. They deserve to be loved. But that starts with you. I guarantee when you allow yourself to grieve, when you allow yourself to forgive, when you allow yourself to love yourself on your worst fucking days, when you allow yourself to purposely bless your life, even though it feels uncomfortable, but you work at it and you commit to it. When you do this, I guarantee you, when you start to feel like the one, you start to realize there's shit you do not want to tolerate. You start to recognize how much respect you deserve. You start to recognize that everything you were attracted to, you realize, damn, that part of me was so hurt and so in pain. And when you realize that, all you will want to do is to have compassion for yourself. Is to love yourself. I used to think being a klutz, because I'm a fucking klutz, you guys. And I'll get anxiety and I'll get nervous. I'll get shy sometimes. And I used to be so ashamed of that. But lately, my ass is tripping over air. My ass is over here, still being shy around certain people. But instead of shaming that, I fall in love with it. I fall in love with every part of me. And in doing so, it's like I'm being my own mother. I'm being my own father. I'm being my own family. I'm being my own lover. I'm being my own best friend. And nothing feels more wholesome than being with yourself in an open space and feeling safe and feeling loved without needing anything or anyone. Because you can create it for yourself, because you are the one that you've been needing and looking for. Ain't that some shit? So other than that, beautiful beings, that's all I wanted to share with you today. How to heal from a toxic relationship. If you guys want any more information on this, or if you have any particular questions or topics regarding this same topic that you want me to talk about, please let me know your feedback in the comment section below. I really want to build a connection and talk with you guys and see what you guys need. A lot of you guys watch me, subscribe to me. That means I have something to share. So if you got any questions, do not hesitate to ask. If you want me to talk about a certain topic, please let me know in the comment section. Really, really would love to hear your feedback and what you need assistance on. Other than that, if you want to book a personal reading with me, healing session, my merch, healing course, all that info is down in the description box below. It will send you straight to my website. Other than that, you guys, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Never forget to hit that notification button so you won't miss out on any videos that will assist you on your spiritual journey. So thank you for trusting on your journey, and please have a blissful day, and I'll see you on the next one.